na specific for cosplay photography. So, gusto ko na kwento sa inyo na journey ko and the kind of work that I get to do. And by the way, I always like to keep this floor open. So, kung may mga tanong kayo, kung may questions kayo, may giveaways ako from Canon. So, sana kami. But kung may mga tanong lang kayo about cosplay, feel free to ask, especially sa Q&A portion. So ayan, adjust natin, guys. Just to give a brief background, 2024, this year would have been, actually is my 21st year in shooting cosplay. So 21 years na ako nag-shoot ng cosplay. So I've gone regional gastings as far as giving a panel on cosplay photography sa San Diego Comic Con. So I've done the panels for them for 2 years already. So giving a talk like this in San Diego. Or yan na yun. Max na yun, sige. Just to give you guys a short intro ng journey ko sa cosplay photography. Hindi kasi ako marunong mag-drawing. It started na nakikita ko sa mga artist friends ko, specifically mga comic book artists. Nakikita ko sa kanila, bakit sila nakapag-drawing at ako hindi? But then again, gusto ko, feeling ko naman creative ako, and this is where I end up compensating with my camera. Dinaan ko sa camera dahil hindi ako marunong mag-drawing. So what happened there is, just like any faithful nerd and any faithful geek, I science to crack out of creativity. Kasi hindi, feeling ko may frustration ako with creativity, but at the same time, paano ko makasolve ko since being a nerd, sinolve ko siya with science, in a sense. And what happened over the next 2 decades of shooting became a set of tools na isip ko sa mind ko on how to come up with these images. First of all, you have to set a direction. Hindi ka lang basta mag-shoot sa kung saan-saan man. At least in my case, before I actually sit down and talk to a cosplayer, sinasabi ko sa kanila kung ano man yung general direction ko, general idea ko sa retrato ko. So in this case, ako mahilig ako mag-shoot ng Evangelion. So kita niyo si Asuka. Si Asuka naman, pansin niyo, same character, depende sa creative direction, iba-iba kilalabas na ng retrato. So it's the same character. Whether may naka-plug suit ba siya, naka-school uniform siya, you know, it's the same thing. But depends on how the creative execution is, yan ang iba-iba yung characterization sa kanya. Also another creative license or creative technique na ginawa ko. If you guys notice, same location lang siya. It's the same location, taken 1 hour apart from each other. Pero if you notice, ibang-iba yung itsura. Kasi I had a clear line saying na ito yung creative direction character na to versus this one. If you notice, Marvel and DC pa yan. Kate Bishop at saka Catwoman. But if you notice, since iba yung creative direction, even if I'm shooting the same location, almost the same angle, ibang-iba itsura. Kung hindi ko pinagtabihan, people wouldn't even notice. I like working with key visuals. Ito si Alodia, back in the day. I like working with key visuals kasi prior to photography, I worked in advertising. And advertising gave me this framework of how creativity can be molded and how can it be channeled to a particular manner. Hindi ka lang basta shoot ang shoot. So for this case, gusto ko mag-shoot ng X-Men, si Jean Grey. So yan, so I had an artist friend, sabi ko hindi ako marunong mag-drawing. Nag-fill drawing ko sa friend ko na artist. Gusto ko si Jean Grey na-express yung mental powers niya. Okay. Tapos, tumawag ako ng kaibigan kong artista, game ko mag-shoot. Si Maria Rivera. I got to work with Marian and made her dress up as Jean Grey just for fun. Nakakatawa, that's in game shot. So ayan, so there you go. Actually nga, gusto ko sana sa team to mas Cyclops eh. Bagay. Actually, no, ang hirap ng whole schedule yung dalawang yun. But this was back in the day. I got to work with Marian. She became the cover ng Cosplay Photography. Yun. Other examples, if you notice, mahilig ako mag-shoot ng Final Fantasy. On the left is the official poster. On the right, yung execution namin. Same with Juna. As an X2. Sa left, si Cristel yun sa right side. Yun. Now, because of that, you don't just shoot characters, but you have to tell a story within one frame. Visual storytelling tayo. So what do I mean by that? You don't just have, kailangan mo mag-invento kailangan mo magkwento sa loob ng picture na yan. Yan. So yung slides ko hindi na pumasok. But if you notice mga eksenang to, these are shots and these are images na na-imagine ko lang watching the animated. It's not just, okay, here's a thing. Sa akin kasi, the central part is the idea, not exactly the cosplayer. The cosplayer is part of the scenery, but it's not the central figure of it all. So it's part of the concept. So I had to think something bigger out of this entire creative exercise. And of course, you have to be a fan. Nowadays kasi ang rule ko ay, by the way, I shoot cosplay for free. I don't exactly charge. Because this is a passion project for me. And whatever kinikita ko sa cosplay, I donate to charity. So yun, from the books, from the posters, the prints, I donate to COS, I donate to an orphanage sa Antipolo, Cribs Foundation, whatever I can. So this is just really purely for fun. Why is that? Para at least I have the creative freedom to do so kasi ang main line ko is advertising. So doon talaga ako nagtatrabaho. I shoot commercials, but this is really just purely for fun. So I had to be a fan. So sino galang ng Nier Automata? I played the game. I played the game also. So if you notice, I had several 2Bs already here. Yung the one on the left, before pa ako naging fan yan, ay, kumbaga, pinashoot sa akin, sige, shoot tayo ng 2B. Hindi pa ako fan na. That was about 2018. Tapos, of course, pandemic happened. We all got stuck at home. Naglago na lang ng PS5. Doon ako na-addict sa Nier Automata. And ever since I had the opportunity to shoot Nier, sunod-sunod na siya. And if you notice, the leftmost image, sure, I'm pretty okay with it. But compared to the efforts ko on the right, kita mo na I became fan. I became a fan of the game. Kita mo yung difference. Because of that, we had more nuances on the character. So because of that, prior to every cosplay shoot, meron akong PowerPoint presentation na pinapakita to everybody ko na makeup artist, production designer, to the stylist, to the cosplayer and all that, na ito yung plano ko. And this is what working in advertising gave me a chance to do, to put a framework into the creativity. Hindi ka lang basta pumunta sa park, mag-shoot ka lang, pumunta ka sa daan, mag-shoot ka lang. Ayun. And because of that, na-addict ako sa Nier Automata, nag-shoot ako kasi nakataya ko bang 2B. One of them, one of my favorite music na nandiyan si Lily nandiyan. She has several dito sa screen. Yan. So, if you notice, the ideas are different. Same character, but the creative direction is tweaked and different, nuanced. Iba-iba itsura ng image. And at the same time, when you're talking about being a fan, you have to get out, ironically, kailangan mo maging fan at kailangan lumabas ka sa fandom mo. So what do I mean by that? Next to shooting cosplay, ang favorite na gawin ko is travel photography. I like to travel. And that gives me a lot of ideas about how to come up with these cosplay images. So I end up going to, especially mahilig ako sa Japan. But not in Tokyo, not in the general cities, pero hinakay ko yung rural Japan. That's in Gifu. Ito, the one on the lower right is in Gifu Valley, Nakasento Highway. And this is the mga less traveled roads na talaga wala nag-English. So you have to, kailangan mo talaga humula lang talaga how to speak properly. Diba? Kung tatanong sa akin, kumagulo ko, choto. The one on the upper parts is in China bordering Tibet. So as far as going to the borders pa yung part na yun, kasi ibang klase yung borderlands pa yung communities that you get to meet, the kind of cultures you get to see. At the same time, it opens up your world na it gives more depth to the characters na ginagawa na shoot mo, hindi lang ang basta personal costume. You have to create an illusion. Kumbaga, when people look at the work, it has to be, and the illusion is complete. At the moment na makita nila, isipin nila, totoo ba yan hindi? So of course, ang naging tip ko dito is knowing about your art history, going outside your fandom. One of my tips dyan is, I love going to museums and art galleries to learn about the history of art. So, Idea Framer, Final Fantasy VIII, nung nakita ko yung costume niya, saan kaya inisip ng mga designers ko? Saan sila kaya na-inspire? So, hinanap ko yung visual equivalent ng mga design niya. What led me to is an art form, Alphonse Mucha, Art Nouveau, 1910, 1920s na art. Tapos nakita ko yung design hindi ko lang kung yung cake ba niya yun, basta yung matigas na tin sa likod, which inspired me na, bakit ko yung itsura niya? So which got me to execute, if you notice, I bring the character out of the context of its name and inject it into a particular art form na similar sa kanya, but not exactly, which results in a unique image. Of course, alam natin mga pin-up girls, pag natin yung art concept na ganyan. Tapos, napansin ko, pin-up girls, ano suot nila? Sailor uniform. Diba? Tingnan niyo yung similarity. Sailor uniform. What if sinabi ko, what if i-cross natin yung Japanese sailor uniform with an execution of a pin-up girl? So, ano kaya lalabas nun? So, it was my image with Alodia, which got me that. So, of course, tinuloy-tuloy ko na rin yan. Tinuloy ko na yung Sailor Senshi na 5. Hindi ko na tinuloy sa Sailor Saturn and all. Kasi yung costume design nila, talagang hindi ko na gets eh. Kasi hindi na tugma, wala na color coordination. So, okay. Yun. And of course, I have to say that wait, yun. So, shoot ko sa basement ng isang building. And I would like to say, photography is last kasi several things I had to learn prior to, I got to realize that the more I got into photography, I had to learn more outside of it. So I had to learn makeup a little bit. I had to learn about fashion styling. I had to learn about character coaching and acting. So hindi ka lang basta tatayo dyan as a photographer and you just say na, oh, post ka lang dyan. No. I have an idea in my head. I have to coach my cosplay to act properly. Pati sa pagbaliling ng fingers niya, kailangan ko makuha. Or probably OC lang talaga ako. So I'll be that. Yeah. And of course, I like to look at art books, especially Adam Hughes, Cover Run, one of the best, speaking of personally, one of the best DC cover artists there is. Or aside from Jim Lee. Kasi Jim Lee, favorite ko yan. I mean, generation ko sa Jim Lee. Diba? X-Men pa nga eh. Diba? And of course, Light, Science, and Magic, which is the photography book of choice for me. So if you're a photographer out there, buy that book. Life changer siya sa akin. Kasi it's not just a photography book, it's a physics of light na libro, which teaches you how light bounces on surfaces. Combine that knowledge of makeup, clothing, coaching, art, and photography, you somewhat sum it up into an image. This is probably one of my first cosplay images ever. This is way back in 2009 with Rian Ramos. One of my first ones ever. And if you notice kasi nuance ng costume na to, yung damit, iba-iba yung texture niyan eh. So iba-iba yung texture, iba-iba yung talbog ng ilaw sa kanya. So that's that knowledge of knowing photography plus proper cuts ng damit would yield you a more texture and more 3D na litrato. Yeah. So may tanong kayo guys, we can pass the mic around and have giveaways from Canon. I have to give away a lot. I don't want to go home with this heavy box. Ayun. So, work breakdown. So, but please, open, floor is open for any questions. Yes. The way I approach photography rather is not a traditional sense na picture lang tayo, but I create the cosplayer as body parts. Weird, no? Body parts sa akin yan. Kasi gagawin ko, kukulang mo yung braso mo, kukulang mo yung ulo mo, yung paa mo, sasampa ko sa buong truck tapos. Because for me, it's all part of the process. It's part of it. Yeah. The same way na ito, nag-shoot ako ng Mona na Gilshin. Ay, ang hirap kasi ng character design niya, yung book niya haba. So, imposible yan physically na una na sabay-sabay. So I had to shoot the hair separately, I had to shoot the wig separately, I had to shoot the tassel separately. I have to shoot her legs separately. Kaya pag ko yung pose na tama, then still pack together. Kasi the art direction is very difficult to do. Yeah, same way with Raiden Shogun. Yan, mas mahirap yan. Pansin ko nga, any Genshin character, hirap i-shoot. That's about 400 shots. 400 just, then I whittle it down to like 16 body parts. Especially yung boss version niya, ang daming mga lumilipad na nakikit. Yun, hiwa-hiwa na yun. Okay, next question.
Hello po, kasi sabi niyo po, diba, like, 400 shots po yung kada isang picture.
Mala-mala.
So, gano'n niyo po katagal yung edit yung mga isang space na picture?
Okay. Also note that I don't edit my own. I work with editors. I work with a lot of editors. Say, I'm just the photographer. And then I like to emphasize, I'm just the photographer. And it's all about teamwork and the process of putting things together. Even if the idea somewhat started from me, I'm still just part of the process. I'm not the final say per se. So I work with a lot of editors out there now who are versed in putting things together. Kasi basic lang naman alam ko sa Photoshop eh. I don't exactly compose. But I do know the body parts needed or the images needed for the imager or the editor to work on. So if ipapasa mo sa kanya, malinis na materialis. At least, yun ang trabaho ko. Magbigay sa editor ng malinis na trabaho. Hindi yung hahabulin pa niya, compensate pa niya, kung siya madilim yung litrato, gano'n. Yeah, deal.
Hi, good afternoon. Actually, question ko about editing. You mentioned ko sa video na ako. Hindi na kasi ako matapos. But my question is, let's say for us na gumagamit ng mga mobile phones for editing.
I won't. I won't. Because the processing power sometimes is just kulang pa. Especially in my case, kasi I work with high-res images. My R5 is 45 megapixels. So, resolution ko, ginabang ko yan to 6,000 to 9,000 pixels at 300 dpi. So, you can imagine the kind of resolution needed. Pasok ko sa mobile phone, I tried to pin ng F-file ng camera kung hindi naman. So, I really work on a PC or Mac or desktop talaga for processing. Yeah.
Marami po ba kayo naman yung hirapan po ba kayo makamili sa kung paano may nililin sa cosplayer yung visual yung kita niyo po po sa
It happens a lot. It happens a lot. But you know, it's a matter of, for me, shoots is about 90% preparation and 10% execution. So when you have that idea in your head already, I guess, you have to, ako kasi, since ako obsessive compulsive ako in terms of posing eh. Tapos ko, yung paa, dinimbay, parang ganyan. And here's the thing, do the pose yourself. You can't just tell them. Gawin mo yourself. Kasi kung hindi mo magagawa, hindi mo magagawa ng cosplayer mo. So that's my metric. You need to do it yourself. So, alis mo pakita mo. So that's, I guess, the better way for me to communicate. Do it yourself. Tapos tingnan mo, ano yung feeling ng cosplayer? Dito ba siya nakakawit? Mahanap ba siya? So doon mo magagets yung nuances niya. So, kung swerte ka at magaling yung cosplayer mo, I'm very happy with Alodia, who was a cheer dancer in high school. So she can do all those flips and she's very flexible. So, nagagawa niya. So, yung pakirang ko din po ako ng Alodia doon, at least, it turned out to be very good photos. Diba? And speaking of which, ayan. So, nag-shoot ako with Alodia, Attack on Titan, na I cannot spoil this anymore, but tagal-tagal na itong anime na to, tapos na siya technically. So, ayan. Sinunod ko siya in a studio, and yung background ko happened to be Manila Cathedral. Challenge dito, ang hirap mag-shoot sa Intramuros, right? Di ba permits ka doon? And one time, nakapunta ako doon, nakita ko may kinakasal sa labas doon. Sabi sabay ako. Nagtatakay pa ako. Photographer na, hindi nag-shoot sa amin. So I got that left topmost corner and used that as the background. Ta-da! Tapos yung mga usok effects, baby powder, na bilog ako na straw. So, what I'm telling you guys now, the special effects don't need to be that fancy. Pwede kang bumili ng kapon, ng candy, hila, baby powder, dahil sa palengke, use those as a special effects. Okay, question.
Sir,
Go.
good afternoon.
Go lang.
Good afternoon. First of all, sir, I love your work.
Thank you.
You've been an inspiration to me in everything in photography. Simple lang yung question ko. What is your opinion on using AI on today's
I like it. Okay, it's a tool. Don't abuse it. It's a tool. I have a Mid-Journey account. Kasi like I said, hindi ako marunong drawing. So dinadaan ko sa Mid-Journey yung ideation ko. So okay, so I'll do a prompt, lalabas yung mga images niya, tapos if I like a certain image, okay, then I'll shoot that. I use it for ideation. So for me, it's a tool. I'm not afraid of it. But yung mga kanya-kanya, that's how I take it.